Hi, it's Melinda. How are you? And I'm from Hope When There Was None. I wanted to talk about vision boards and the future and goal setting and intentions because that is so very important as we're entering a new decade. I have been doing vision boards and these sort of things for at least now, my goodness, it has to be a little over maybe 12 years or so. I've manifested many things, manifested, dreamed, wished, whatever you want to call it, from cameras to cars to this home. And oh my gosh, there's just so many jobs, different situations, and so on, different outcomes that I was looking for. I'm going to push this down just a little, excuse me. There you go, because that's where our future lamp is going to go lighting up in the ceiling, but it was distracting. So I wanted to come and talk about that. But first of all, let me tell you how I got started with this. I've been collaging for a number of years. I mean, since I can remember, I've always loved to put different words that are positive. Since high school, I'm 49. High school was a very long time ago, but I did have a collection back in the day. We used to take our photos, which was like 110 film. I was so excited to have 110 film, and then my Polaroid instant. But I would take them into these photo albums. With the photo albums, there was like a kind of a sticky, and I don't have any right now, but sticky page. You lifted up this clear page where you pasted your pictures, and that was your photo album. It's not like now where you can find them on your phone. And, you actually had to worry about them falling out of the pages, becoming discolored. If it got wet, oh my goodness, it literally probably was the end of the world, especially if you didn't have the negatives. If anybody is younger, then let's say if you were born in the 2000s, you probably really don't know too much about negatives, but negatives were very, very important, especially if you wanted to create more pictures. Anyway, I digress. So I wanted to chat about how I got started with that. I've always had a wild and vivid imagination. Just ask my family, they'll tell you. But I've always had this imagination. I've always daydreamed about different things, where I wanted myself to go, where I wanted my life to go. And vision boards actually helped impact where I am today. I started to envision, I got my positive words out, I've got my pictures and so on back out when I was going through a pretty rough time with my ex. Then my husband at that time. I started to actually squirrel away these different things, and I would hide them, but look at them when he was gone or when he wasn't around. I needed something to keep me upbeat and positive. I had somebody that I adore recently mentioned, you're always smiling, you're always happy, and you're friendly, and so on and so on. It's maybe hard for people to relate if they're coming out of a dark place, how you can be so smiley and positive. I came out of that dark place. I came out of a deep depression. I came out of feeling suicidal. I was ready to take my car off a bridge, into a lake, whatever I had to do to find peace. At that time, I was thinking that was probably the only way I was going to find peace. I was in a very dark place. I can't go ahead and go back to where that was in order to relate to people now. And I'm sorry, I can't do that. But I also knew I couldn't stay in that dark place anymore. It was consuming me. That darkness was really literally eating me. I would say alive. And I know that sounds kind of gross, but that's the best way I can put it. I was in such a deep, dark spot. I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself at all. I had no idea what that was anyway for myself. I didn't know what the self-care was. I didn't know what I knew my self-esteem was like this, was if that. But I knew I needed better. I knew I needed better for myself and my kids. So why I started to do the vision boards, and why I started to do affirmations, and why I started to do a lot of self-help and glean information. I had a really good friend, her name is Christy Robinette, give me some great tips too, was because I didn't want my children to end up, first of all, with my ex, or if I murdered my ex at that point in time, I was seriously thinking about that, if they would end up with him. What if I botched the job? And I know this sounds morbid, and I know this sounds really gross to talk about, and I don't mean to shock or put anybody in awe or anything, but I had those thoughts. I was really in a deep, deep, dark place. I really, and my throat's, sorry, choking up a little bit. I didn't want my kids to see me in that place anymore. I wanted them to know that there was life after abuse. I wanted them to know that no matter what, I did try to salvage whatever I could out of that relationship. And I wanted them to know that there can be a big leap into happiness. There can be that happily ever after. You can overcome the darkness. You can overcome and defeat whatever it is put in front of you, whether it be chronic illness, because I've battled that too. I'm a Lyme warrior, autoimmune disease, whatever you want to call it. I've got that in my background, but I might go ahead and I'm crawling on the ground at times. I mean, literally my spirit feels like it's just crawling. And especially during those dark times, I didn't want to get up from the dust, but part of it was the Lord too, just helping me up, get myself dusted off, and next day, just start all over again. Or that next hour. Don't wait for the next year. This is what this is all about too. Don't wait for 2012. You can start tonight. Don't wait for 2021 to pop on over to start a new thing. Start today. There's no reason why you can't do these or any other thing right now. If you fall off the wagon, you just jump back on the next day. Don't just say, well, I didn't do it. I'm defeated. It didn't happen. None of this worked for me, Melinda. Didn't work for me in the past. Nah, I'm not going to try. No, please do. I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to work on yourself, your self-care, your self-love. It will help. It's slow. It didn't take me overnight to be this person that you see now, to be this woman that is very comfortable in her own skin. I could look in the mirror and I can tell myself oodles of affirmations. I could tell myself proclamations of love for myself. I couldn't do that before, but I can do that now. And it took work. I'm telling you, it's hard. And there was sometimes I wanted to throw in the hat, throw in the towel, and just give up. But honestly, it's so worth it. And I encourage you to do that. Stop that bad habit. Stop those negative thoughts. Whatever it is that's holding you back, please, I encourage you to try this. And not just for... And if, let's say you do maybe 2 weeks and you're like, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do the affirmations anymore. I'm not going to do the self-help books and all that other crap or woo stuff Melinda's talking about. That's fine. Maybe try again. If you're feeling discouraged in something like that, try it again the following day or the next week or maybe the next month, but don't give up. Call me. Now, call me if you're local. Call me, message me. We can do a video chat. If you're feeling discouraged, please, I'm happy to go ahead and serve you. How can I serve you? How can I help? And if it's just for me to give you a little pep talk that you can do this, then I'm your girl. Okay? So all that aside, let's get started. I don't have the supplies readily in hand. I'm not going to do a vision board right now online here. But I did bring mine up. I did have a friend come over and her husband the other day, and we did vision boards. Actually, I did a lot of papers after they left. I finally put mine together, but it's a lot of fun. You can incorporate this with the kids, and I encourage you, if you have children, start these habits now. Even if they're teens, start the affirmations. Again, in previous videos, I do the affirmations. I have them on sticky notes. I plaster them on my wall in my bathroom, on my mirror. So you might see 1, 2, or whatever. You might see a bunch of them, especially if I feel like I need extra help. And yes, I still do these things. I still do the vision boards. I still do the affirmations. I still do the self-help. It's never ending. It's not going to stop. But I like doing it. It's now become such a routine that I enjoy doing the journaling and so on. Now, even if I don't do it every day, I still do it. I crack open my Bible. I get back into the Word. It might not be an affirmation like I am. It could just be my favorite verse. It could be a part of a song. Whatever it is for you, go ahead and put it on a sticky note, put it up there, or put it on your vision board, future board, wish board, whatever you'd like to call this. So we're going to go ahead and, first of all, dream big. This is also a good time to start thinking about what negative habits, what negative thoughts do you have about yourself. Start digging in deep. It's more than just plastering on some glue and some magazine clippings. It's deeper than that. You can take it deeper than that. But of course, you don't have to. When I first started this, it wasn't fancy. It was just me daydreaming about this. And I encourage you to daydream, but also to think of a lot of the things that you're going to put on your board. Think of these things like they're already happening to you, like they've already happened. I encourage you to do that. Dream big, first of all. Whatever you can dream of. Maybe it's to meet Oprah. Maybe it's to meet Billy Ray Cyrus. Maybe it's to meet the Queen of England. Or maybe you just want to meet somebody in your neighborhood that is very inspiring to you. Put it, you can even journal it. Journal your wishes, journal your goals that you want to do and accomplish. Maybe if it's only the top 5 things or 3 things, jot these down. And also whatever negative behaviors or habits that you have. Maybe you want to kick smoking, lose some weight, something like that. You might be saying, well, Melinda, I am a millionaire on there. Well, I'm becoming a millionaire would be a much better affirmation, okay? If you need some affirmation tips or even some affirmations, message me privately or put a little heart in the comment section and I can go ahead and I'll get back to you about that, okay? I can send you some. Now, be creative. Again, you might have some negative thinkers, even some naysayers. As you start sprinkling your happiness around, that's okay. We're going to just leave, you either kick them to the curb or you can just ignore them. And it's going to be hard. You're going to have people that are going to maybe belittle your dreams. They could be a little envious for you because of the goals that you're putting on. You know, you might be saying, oh, well, I'm going to someday meet this basketball player or this football player, or I'm going to play for the NFL or whatever it is. There might be some people that are haters. It's okay. Ignore them. You've got your dream. You got your focus. Don't stop. Keep it up. Okay? I promise you. Just keep up that momentum. Some of these things might happen in totally out of the wildest dream ways. Some of these things might even come up in such a teeny fashion. They might not be exactly what you dreamed of, but they could be better. I also want to inform you that you do need to be as specific as you can, as detailed as you can. Would you like to manifest, I hate to say manifest, but create a situation where you meet the man or the woman of your dreams? What color's her hair or his hair? Does he smoke? Do they like children? Do they like animals? Do they like music? What kind of music does this person like? I want you to create a person, if this is what you're going to be looking for, a person very specific. Are they tall? Are they short? Are they a little fluffy? Do they have gray hair, blue eyes, green eyes, perfect teeth? What do their hands look like? Be as specific as you can. Are they a size 10? Are they a size, you don't care what size they are, as long as they have a good sense of humor. Do they treat their parents well? Are they employed? Now that's a very popular one. You should probably put that down if you didn't think about that. Would they draw you a bath at night? Would they rub your feet at night? Be specific. Do they cook? Do they not cook? Honestly, be specific if you're looking for that dream person, or maybe it's a dream date. Whatever the situation is, be specific. As specific as you can. If it's a dream job, what salary are you looking for? Is this going to be a full-time position? Is it going to be a part-time position? Are they going to have good benefits? Are they going to have you planning, maybe you're a newlywed, are they going to have maternity leave for you? Something of that nature. You really need to look at this. Is there medical benefits going in? Start imagining this job happening to you. Maybe you want to travel more. Could this be that you want to travel around the world? Do you want to just stay in the States? Do you want to fly? Do you want to take the train? Do you want to go by car? Do you get your own car? Do you get the drift? There's a lot of different specifics that you can do for this, and I encourage you to do it. Journal all out of this if you'd like to too. Look at the journal all the time if you have to, but again, be creative. Think out of the box. That's what this whole thing is about. Again, thinking out of the box, be specific, and dream big. And I know I said that again, but I encourage you, dream big, okay? Nobody even has to know. If you don't want to tell anybody your dreams, that's fine. If you don't want anyone to see this dream board, they don't have to. And I got a couple different ways you can do that. Now this was a clipboard, and I used to use this all the time. It's got different things on there, different pictures. This one was more of a fun one. And yeah, this was more of a fun thing, but when I see it, it makes me smile. There's also glitter on here too, but it does make me smile. Now, when I was at the Gypsy Soul retreats, affirmation, you'll see something like this on my bathroom mirror. If you ever come over, it says, I'm in the process of positive changes. Love those. But we did these, and all this is composition book. That's all it is. Less than $1 at Walmart, okay? It was less than $1, 100 sheets, just a regular composition book, and you'll find those in the school supply, office supply section. And what we did is, actually some of the gals had this. This wasn't my idea. I can't take credit for it. Some of the gals grabbed some scrapbook paper. All it is scrapbook paper. You just go ahead and put it behind that, and I kind of made an impression on my book so I could just cut it out, even the little curve there, so I could just clip it out. But then you take your glue and you glue it in there. Now you can do the inside too. I didn't do the inside, in the back. But that is a great way to do a vision board too. You can also use chipboard, poster board. You can make it as big as you want or as small. You can frame these or just set them out somewhere where you're going to see them. You can hang it on the wall, but I encourage you to put it somewhere where you're going to see it readily and frequently. This is mine. I just started working on. I have had this book for, I can't even begin to tell you how long. And it's got, this is my newest one that I did. It's got travel. There's an airplane on there. I'm hoping to do some speaking. So this is my dream day. I have Paris in here. I need to find one with some Ireland and England, the UK, because I want to travel. This is really what I want to do. I want to travel. So I might even win a trip. I've got Win It on there, Adventure, Growing Bolder, Reach for Your Dreams. This had globes because I want to be a global traveler, a world traveler. So that's part of it. I've got this one too. I want to go on a cruise with Mr. Awesome. That would be awesome. And eventually my dream is still to bicycle across the states. I do, and there's a story behind that. I'm not going to get into that now, but that's part of it too, is to bicycle across the states. There are words you can either write or you can find these on the internet. There, you can put words of encouragement on there as well. You can draw pictures on there if you need to. You can add stickers. Here's a doily. I've done that before. You can, you know what, you can put $1 on there. You could put $50 on here. Whatever it is you can dream it. Go on Pinterest. You will find a gazillion ideas, honestly. Now, again, so you're getting some ideas. I hope so. You can give me a thumbs up if I'm giving you a lot of ideas to think about. Think about where you'd like to go. Do you want to join a not-for-profit organization? Do you want to volunteer more? This doesn't have to be limited to 2020. You can do these surrounded by different categories. So let me look at my list here. So 7 different goal areas that you can have is family. So by family, I mean your current situation, whatever that is, unplug for a little bit. Spend some time with the family. Do you have different goals? You want to just have a family game night, something more cookie time together, doing a gratitude. By the way, doing gratitude while you're doing your vision board and throughout the year is just amazing. Appreciate the small things. You have food in your fridge. And when I first left my ex, I was so appreciated that I had laundry money because I didn't have a washer and dryer. I had to go to the laundromat. I was so appreciated when I would find just a lonely little quarter on the ground. I would pick up the snatch money as I found, and I still do. I think of it as, you know, just a nice little happy reminder from heaven, heavenly reminder. But I would snatch those quarters up and I would hoard them for my washing machine and dryer time when I was at the laundromat. So, I mean, I appreciated that. We were on WIC for a while, so I appreciated the milk and the eggs I got from that. I appreciated, oh my goodness, when someone gave me money for gas, or just because it was all very appreciated. I really did. When I was able to do food stamps, I appreciated the food stamps that we had. Food pantry, you know, I had been food stamps, WIC. I've eaten out of the food pantry. I've filed for bankruptcy. So, I mean, when you see me smile, I've been through a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of stuff. Thank you. Thank you, darling. It's just hasn't been, oh, you see this privileged lady. I've struggled. I've fought for everything that I have, and I still continue to fight and believe and dream for everything that I have. A couple different reasons for that. My number one reason is the little voice in the back of my head was really loud. I shouldn't call it little. It was my ex. I could hear him in the back of my head. You're never going to amount to anything. You are stupid. You're an idiot. No one will ever hire you. No one will ever want to give you a job. No one will ever want to give you the time of day. No man will ever want you. I had that little voice. You're never going to accomplish anything. You are just useless. I had those voices in my head. I had to drown them out with something positive. So that's another reason why I do the affirmations. I don't hear him anymore. I don't hear my ex anymore. I don't hear him, which is, yay, praise God. Thank you, darling. I don't hear him, and that's a blessing. It really has been a blessing to just kind of kick those voices to the curb. Not that I hear voices, but if you are a survivor or a victim, I know you know what I'm talking about. You've had those negative voices in your head, and they might not necessarily be your ex or toxic parent, whoever that is, but you know what I'm talking about. So Again, family. Do you want to learn something new? So education can be another goal for you, another intention that you're setting to learn something new. Maybe it's something for your job. Perhaps it's something that you've always wanted to learn, like scuba diving, or something wild and crazy, maybe midwifery. Maybe you'd like to learn how to deliver babies, or horticulture, whatever it is. There's no reason why you can't put that on your board. Put that for your intention that you're going to go ahead and learn. Again, this can be at least 7 different boards you can do, or 7 different ideas that you can do in order to incorporate these in your vision. Personal. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not something that you're going to be doing for your family or for somebody else. This is going to be something that you're going to be doing for you, such as maybe you have a fitness goal and you want to just have clean eating. So just do a clean eating, something like that. Or maybe it could be, let's see, I need to clean up my diet so I can poop better, okay? That's my big goal. And maybe it's the thing as you get older, you just need, and I don't mean to be gross, but something like that to help my diet, because if I eat a lot of sugar and just junk food, it clogs my system. So I want to definitely get my body moving by exercising more, drinking a lot more water, staying hydrated in order to have the flow so I can go. That's the sort of thing I want to do. If you're not spiritual, maybe you want to incorporate something about studying religions. What religion or what kind of faith do you wish to have? Do you want to have more faith? Do you wish to meditate more? Do you believe in a higher power? Maybe you don't believe in a higher power, but you can reach out to those that do to find out exactly what is it they're getting that maybe you don't have, or what is it that you can learn from them. And not necessarily that you have to become like a monk or Baptist or Catholic or whatever, but maybe you want to kind of have a worldview of different religions, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or you are looking to incorporate prayer or reading whatever holy book you are into. For me, it's the Bible. And you want to have more of a Bible study, something of that nature too. So that's something you can kind of dig into and put that on your board too. Financial. This is going to be different than your professional area, because I'm talking about starting like Dave Ramsey program, cleaning up your credit. This isn't going to be tied to your professional. Your professional is something, your work, that's something different. Cleaning up your credit, cleaning up how you budget, spend money. I do enjoy coffee and going for tea, so I might not go as much and as often because I want to pay towards my student loan, as an example. Something of that nature. Again, financial is a really good thing. Maybe you want to go on that cruise and you need to start needing to save a little bit of, instead of going to the bar, or instead of just spending it on a newest purse, perhaps you put that towards, or maybe you want a new purse. So maybe then you could, well, don't be angry with me, but then you can go ahead and put that money towards something that you really enjoy instead, that you're really going to love. A girl's weekend or something, airplane, something like that, airplane fare, somewhere like that. Now, professional. What is your profession? Are you in accounting? Perhaps you'd like to be into marketing instead. Hey lady, how are you? Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Perhaps you want to go from management and you'd rather go into marketing or some other level in whatever company you're doing. Perhaps you're a baker and you don't really like baking and you would much rather own your own restaurant. Whatever it is, that could be a professional, and start those professional goals. Perhaps you are somebody that's always wanted to write a book. Well, do it. Put it on there. Put it on your board. See yourself as a bestseller, New York Times bestseller. Put it on your board. Whatever it is, whatever you can dream, please dream it and put it on your board. Now, leisure. What the heck is leisure? So something you want to do in fun time. Okay, this is like where you're going to rest, where you're going to do that relaxation. So you can do massages, whatever it is. Do you enjoy art? Reading, do something for yourself. It's just going to be fun time for you. Now, what adventures do you want to do in this next year? But again, I really hate setting goals and goals for, or what do they call those, resolutions. I just would rather keep this going all year round. Keep, again, you can really feel bad if you don't keep your resolutions. So, just make this a habit of doing this all the time. Quarterly, you can always do a vision board every quarter, or maybe something new that comes up. You might have a big dream that isn't happening right now, but in a couple weeks, all of a sudden something amazing is going to happen, and you're going to be like, oh, or you have this great idea. Oh, I want to do this. Get a vision board out and start working on it then. Get some magazines. And where I get my magazines, I'm going to give you a secret. I go to my local library. I ask them when they're going to purge their library, their magazines, and you are so sweet. I love you to bits. And we have to talk soon, by the way, Miss Ma'am. We really need to talk soon. I want to find out how you're doing in your country and how everything is going over there. Now, also in addition to that, again, we're going to go to the library, ask them, go to your doctor's office. Now, I just laughed with my friend Laura the other day. She was asking, where do you get your magazines? And I told her, she's like, I said, I ask for them. And she's like, so have you ever done the thing where you like kind of curl it up and you tuck it in your purse if you're at the doctor's office? Yeah, I've done that before. And I've also asked, because sometimes if you go to doctor's offices or business offices, they might have a stack of magazines that are back from like 1990. I mean, some of them are really dated. So you might be doing them a favor by taking those magazines home with you. And I encourage you to use a variety of magazines. I use, Money, Time Magazine, Cosmo, Oprah's O Magazine, Mary Jane's Farm, and that's not a marijuana thing. I'm serious. It's a magazine. It's really cool. It's really neat. I probably have one around here somewhere, but it's really cool. Because I know someone's going to really, it's a homesteady, kind of DIY kind of magazine. It's really cool. But look for those outlets for your magazines. They're really cool. If you can't find anything in a magazine, download something from the internet. Words of encouragement, affirmations. You can also, again, go onto Pinterest for a lot of ideas. When you're done with your book, what I did is I took a picture of it. I took a picture of my page. I do this all the time, and I keep it on my phone. I also have one on my computer so I can view it. If I don't have my book with me all the time, but I can look at that picture when I need a little more encouragement, when I'm a little down, or a reminder of why I'm doing this. I really love doing that. So have a picture of your vision board so you can keep it with you. Maybe somebody says, well, I don't know what a vision board is. So you can go ahead and share that with them. Again, this was mine. This is just a great way. And again, before I started learning more about vision boards and wish boards, whatever you want to call it, I just took words, and just like I did here, I don't know if you can see that, I've got a little bit of a haze there. So go wild, something. This is more for a girls' night. And, we hope to do an Airbnb, so I have a tent in there around the campfire. But here, live your best life. Again, I hope to travel a lot more. And this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen in 2020. Some of these things didn't happen for me until many years later. So don't get discouraged if, it's already August, Melinda, nothing's coming true. Please, you have to work at this too. You can't just put these on your page and think it's going to happen magically. It's kind of like God. God doesn't have a magic wand, and He is not going to magically make things happen. Sometimes these prayers, when you pray, you need to work too. You might ask God, well, I'd like a book deal. Well, God's going to say, well, you also need to get out and get some publishers there. You need to start doing some query letters to them and start pitching your book. Or, hey, I want some podcast guests. Where am I going to find podcast guests? Or I'm going to just manifest this on my vision board that I have podcast guests, and you don't do anything about it. Reach out to people. Reach out to people that have the same interests as you do. Maybe there are some world travelers out there and you want to do the same thing that they're doing. Well, reach out to them and ask. Again, I did a video not too long ago in my other page about the power of asking. Asking is a great thing. There's great power in that. There's also great support. You might find somebody that can help you make this dream happen. Make these things that you want to do, these passions come true. And find that passion again. If you love to do crocheting, find a group, find a person that would do crocheting with you or give you encouragement. Look on YouTube for a lot of your dreams too. Maybe you would like to raise chickens. You don't know how to raise chickens, but you know you want to have them. Go to YouTube. Perhaps you want to make sure that you have a financial freedom. Well, how can you do that? Find different outlets, creativity, creating things with your hands, blacksmithing, or whatever it is to make your dreams happen. YouTube, find some books, self-help books. Ask your neighbor. If they cook really well, ask them, well, cook or a chef or something like that. Just have that support around you. Again, if there's somebody that's around you that's not so supportive, you might have to say goodbye. They might be a toxic person anyway, and you might not need that in your life. This is what was so incredible about this journey for me. I had to start separating those that were not feeding my spirit. I had to go ahead and say goodbye to a lot of people. Well, actually, I don't want to say that. Several people. I had to just let them go because they weren't helping me. They were very discouraging. And one of those was my ex. He was very discouraging. He wasn't very nice. For safety also, but anytime I would give him a dream that I would have, he would just kind of dash it. And I know many people that have had parents that do this as well. They've had siblings do this to them as well. They would tell their who was supposed to be their support person, the person that loves them, their dreams, and they would just say, well, that's never going to happen, or why are you thinking that way? You can't do that. No, you can do anything you put your mind to. Honestly, you can. Now, of course, I'm probably not going to work for MI6. I always joke that someday I'm going to work for MI6. But no, I'm probably not going to work for MI6. But it's not going to be fun, but the spy thing, it was just silly. But there's no reason why someday I can't backpack across Europe. Why not? Why can't I kick that fear that I have for flying to the side? And maybe I do that someday. And maybe me and Mr. Awesome and Mini Man and Miss Alex do that. We might do that. Or I go to other countries and share my story at crisis centers and women's shelters there. Why can't I do that? I can. I can do anything I put my mind to, and I encourage you to have the same mentality. And if you don't, message me privately. I'm happy to help you. And if you just need for me to pray for you, I'm happy to pray for you. Whatever your prayer request is, message me privately. If you would like any more information on vision boards, affirmations, what I did, what's helped me. Again, you don't need any fancy books. It's just using your imagination, using your mind. But again, sometimes you need to be careful of your imagination. You might want to pray over all this before you do that. And I encourage you to do that as well. Always go to prayer, go to the Bible. But just really live your dreams. I would probably not be here if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't lived my dreams. And really, honestly, there's more. I'm not going to get into that now. I've already made this a little longer than I wanted to. But thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And if you are watching this as a replay, do me a favor. Find a light bulb, find a little flashlight. So do a hashtag, flashlight, light, fire, something. Because part of my dream was searching for the light. And I found the light. And sometimes it could be in a really dark place when you're there and you're looking for the light. But I want you to do a hashtag and light, some kind of light, flashlight. I don't know what the emojis are, fire, something, just so that I know that you're catching this. And if all these tips or any of these tips help you, please let me know. I'm going to let you go. Happy New Year. I hope it's marvelous for you. Oh, and also when I use glue, you can use glue sticks. I encourage you to use a quality glue stick if you're going to use those. But sometimes they come off the pages. Like I just got one that was really quick, and it was a cheap, I'm not even going to share it with you who it was, but it was a cheap knockoff of Elmer's, and it's already come unglued. And even with the one I just did, that's coming unglued. But I do like using the rubber cement. Rubber cement, if you get some along the edges of your magazine, you can just rub it off and it'll come off. But you have to be over 18 to use this, because there is, I think it's 18 or 21. Someone can let me know, because there is some smell, so you might want to do this in a ventilated room, but you're not going to be using it long, really, honestly. And when you do start the pages too, I need to let you know that you need to, before you just start slapping them on your board, arrange them first so you can see if you like the way they look. You can frame these. I encourage you to put it somewhere where you can see it, in a bathroom, entryway, wherever you're going to see it, so you can have that reinforcement that you are going to have these dreams come true. And again, it might take just a little longer than you think it might. Don't get frustrated. Honestly, they can come true, or God might have something better for you. Honestly, he might have a better plan. Sometimes his plans are much better than my own. And sometimes they happen a lot different than I thought they were going to be, that I dreamed of. But you know what? Just be patient. Hang tight. Yeah, I'm going to keep rambling on. Well, thank you for watching again. This is Melinda from Hope When There Was None, signing off. Bye.